iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. So I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry. I know that there's been a problem with these podcasts and listening to them, but I think we've resolved the problem. I appreciate your patience. So we should be good to go starting today, and I think you'll be able to hear some of the old podcasts that I did earlier this week that you weren't able to before. So let me know if there's a problem. I know you guys are really great at contacting me, but just tweet at me or social media me in some way, and I'll figure it out. But I think we've resolved the problem. Also want to know, just thinking about everybody who lives in the Carolinas right now. I know I spent a lot of time in the Carolinas when I was in college. There's no better place to have beach week than Kill Devil Hills on the Outer Banks in North Carolina. So I'm thinking of those people, and hopefully everybody will be safe at this time. Let's take a look at some of the news and notes. First of all, I see here that Hugh Jackson wants to get Josh Gordon more targets. You think? Seriously, you think? You got to give this guy more targets. Josh Gordon can be a big difference maker this week. It's got to start now. I think Tyrod Taylor is on a very, very short leash. I'm telling you this. I think last week's game would have been winnable by Baker Mayfield. And this week's game is winnable by Baker Mayfield. But I'm not sure it is by Tyrod Taylor. He better be good. You got Landry, you got Gordon, you got weapons. You got to use them. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. All right, Doug Marone says, I want to use Corey Grant more. Well, they've been talking about this all the time. The problem is you only have so many plays in a game. And you have to feed Leonard Fournette the ball 20 times. And then TJ Yeldon is out there, getting another 5 to 10 touches. So how many opportunities does Corey Grant get during a game? 2, 3? I mean, how many times can you legitimately get him the football? If you give him the football too much, your team becomes like the Philadelphia Eagles. And you can't be the Eagles when you have Leonard Fournette. You have to give Leonard Fournette the football. All right, Marquise Goodwin. Not sure if he's going to play. I'm going to put him as questionable / I'm more doubtful than questionable. But we'll have to see what happens there. If he doesn't play, Dante Pettis is playing, and he's a good start. That dude is a really good player. He just has to get a little bit stronger, and he's got to work on his hands a little bit. He's got to get with that jugs machine. All right, that would certainly help him a lot. Sony Michel looks like he's going to play. I think it's a bad matchup for him to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but maybe he gets a couple of reps there. Rex Burkhead is in concussion protocol. I do think that he is in practice, so my guess is that he will end up playing last minute, but let's keep an eye on that. The Raiders placed Justin Ellis on injured reserve. That's a problem. He's like their big dude in the middle. Without him, Royce Freeman going to run amok this week. I know Royce Freeman disappointed you. I know that. I get that. But just like with Derrick Henry, you drafted these guys in round 3 and round 4 for a reason. Okay? They will produce eventually. You can't go crazy on me. If I get one more person, Dr. Roto, Derrick Henry, I'm going to cut him. Please, stop it. Stop the madness. I can't listen to that. I can't. They're too good of players. They will fix it. All right, David Johnson, limited with a back injury. I think he's going to play. I haven't heard anything to the otherwise. If he doesn't, Chase Edmonds will play, and then he becomes a free square in DFS circles. All right, so it's Thursday. What I usually like to do on Thursday is go through some of my main event teams to see the blind bidding results to give you an idea of what went on. So in this one league, Philip Lindsay went for $260. Jonnu Smith, $137. Will Disley, $88. Ian Thomas, $77. Bruce Ellington, $55. I don't like any of those bids. Maybe Lindsay at $260, but I don't like Jonnu Smith at $137. And the crazy thing was he tied with somebody else at $137. That's got to be freaky. How would you know that? Will Disley, I mean, he had a good game, but is he really that good? I don't know if he's $88 good. I got him for like $19 in a league. All right, let me try another one here. This is another World Championship. There were some crazy numbers here. Philip Lindsay, $377. 377. Jakeem Grant, 88. Will Disley, 79. Corey Grant, 18. That was a good one, right? I like the Corey Grant for 18. Let's check out another one here. Let's see. One moment, please. Philip Lindsay, $539. Then Dante Pettis, $361. So I'm not good at math. One moment, please. Please hold. 539, 361, $900 spent on two guys. Dude, they better be really good because otherwise you just left yourself with no money the rest of the year. And you're not going to win this league. You're really not. So I thought that was a little cray-cray on that hand. So that was a world championship. Let me check out another one here. Please hold. Please continue to hold. Thank you for holding. Let's see. I've got one. Philip Lindsay, $502. Dante Pettis, $167. Now, I can live with Dante Pettis at $167. You know, Chad Schrader picked him up here. I have no problem with that. Because he could have a big start this week and have a big game. But Philip Lindsay at $500, oh my God, he better do something really special, right? I don't like that. Jonnu Smith in this league went for $13. That's the amazing thing. One league he went for $137. This league he went for $13. That's why you just never know what people are going to do. Here, Philip Lindsay, $462. Jonnu Smith, $202. Case Keenum, $169. I got Case Keenum in a league for $15. So when you play these high stakes leagues, it's very hard to know from week to week how much guys are going to go. What I like to do is let people shoot their money out early, right? I just don't want to pay it. Now, how much did I pay for Philip Lindsay? I think like about $150. That's what he was worth to me. I didn't want to pay $400. I knew it would cost at least $300 to get him. At least $300, and I didn't want to pay that. All right, let me look at a couple of online championship leagues. I think those are usually good, so good bases too. So let's see. Here's one in Vegas. Philip Lindsay, 508. Jalen Richard, 143. Dante Pettis, 138. That was the going price. Jonnu Smith, 77. Will Disley, 66. Let me find you one more here. Let's see. Here's another online championship league. My team's pretty good in this one. Philip Lindsay, 603. Jalen Richard. Now, here's the thing. Here's a guy who I respect very much. And he's a very good player. But he spent $805 on Philip Lindsay and Jared Cook. He better be right. Because if he's not right, he's not going to win this league. Because it's going to be week 11, and he's going to need to find a guy on the waiver wire, and he can't find one, right? He won't be able to find one. Dante Pettis went for 107. Jalen Richard, 226. I think that was way too much. Jonnu Smith went for 77. That's about the right amount. Jonnu Smith, to me, was worth about $80. I didn't want to pay $80, but that's probably what he was worth. You know, but then people bid on like Jakeem Grant. That, to me, it makes no sense. Jakeem Grant, not that good a player. Had a good week, not a great player. Right? You have to know the difference between a great player and a good week. Seriously. All right. I want to take a look right now at the Thursday night preview. Baltimore against Cincinnati. First of all, for the Ravens. Joe Flacco will not look as good this week as he did last week. He looked great against the Bills. That's because it was the Buffalo Bills. I like him this week, but I don't love him. I really like Alex Collins this week. Preston Brown is out. Vontae Burfict is out. Going to be easier to run on that Bengals defense. Once he gets past those defensive linemen, he's going to have smooth sailing the rest of the way. I think Alex Collins was gently used last week because they knew they were going to need him this week. And once they were up by so much, why even worry about it? Bring in, Buck Allen and Kenneth Dixon. I like Alex Collins a lot this week. I like Buck Allen this week. Buck Allen is in a great spot with Kenneth Dixon on the IR. Collins can't catch the football. Dixon will be in there in all those Danny Woodhead type situations. Short yardage, 2-minute drill, third down. Buck Allen is a reasonably good player right now. I don't like the tight ends there. They've got Williams and Boyle and Andrews and all these guys in, out, in, out, in, out. Hard to know what to do. So I'm going to avoid the tight end situation for sure. The 3 receivers to look at, I don't trust Willie Snead this week. I think he was a better play last week, obviously, against the horrific Bills. John Brown I like. I do. I like John Brown. He's in a good spot. He always has the knack for making a big play. So I'm a big fan of John Brown, and I would use him tonight. I'd probably use Michael Crabtree as well. I don't love Michael Crabtree, but I have no problem using Crabtree. He was gently used last week. This is a week that they're going to need him more often, so I would expect him to have a bigger week. Okay, for the Cincinnati Bengals, Andy Dalton is one of those really annoying guys to project. Some weeks he goes 220 and 2 touchdowns. He could also have 178 yards and no touchdowns. It's like, which Andy Dalton's going to show up? Now, I'll tell you this. The Colts got to Andy Dalton last week, right? Magnus Hunt had like 2 sacks. What do you think the Bengals are going to do? The Ravens. The Ravens are going to get to Andy Dalton. If they do, that's a problem. So I don't love Andy Dalton this week. I do like Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's going to get 20 to 25 touches. When a guy gets that many touches, just like with Saquon Barkley, they need one big play. And Mixon can break off that one big play at any time. Whether that's a catch out of the backfield, a big run, I think Mixon gets 100 total yards from scrimmage, maybe a touchdown. Gio Bernard, I like, but I don't love. I think the Ravens tend to over-pursue on defense. I don't think it's a great spot for him. I'm going to pass. A.J. Green, great play this week. I worry, Jimmy Smith is not there. I think that they're going to have to shade Weddle over or shade Tony Jefferson over to double cover him. But, look, you can never go wrong with playing A.J. Green. You have him, you start him. Maybe not the biggest week ever, but you use him. I would not start John Ross. I think the Ravens defense is going to be just smart enough to know that they can't let Ross beat them deep. And Eric Weddle is a very clever guy in the secondary there. He's not the fastest guy, but he's a smart veteran presence back there. He's going to keep John Ross in front of him because once you let Ross get behind you, it's over. So I think Weddle will do everything in his power to make sure that doesn't happen. And finally, if you have Tyler Eifert, you're going to want to start him, but I'm not so sure how I feel about that. I think Tyler Eifert looked very slow last week. He only played like 22 snaps. I'm not in on Tyler Eifert. I worry about that a lot. So be very cautious playing Tyler Eifert. I think there are better options. Certainly on your waiver wire, go get yourself a Ricky Seals-Jones, Jared Cook, Jonnu Smith, Will Disley. There's a lot of guys out there that I don't need to go to Tyler Eifert. I just don't. But you know where I need to go? ScoutDFS.com. I go to ScoutDFS.com. I use our optimizer. Boom, I'm going to know what to play this weekend. Because DFS is coming and I want to be winning. That's how I work it. All right, I want you to do the same. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. On Friday, the visionary plays of the week. You know you want these. This is why you subscribe to ScoutFantasySports.com. For many reasons, and one of the reasons are the visionary plays, which always produce for you, and I'll give you those tomorrow. All right, guys, this is Dr. Roto saying be well and take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!